Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hey everybody, I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
So the Metro Court has an exclusive with crusted chocolate. Yes, we lay them out on the pillows every night. You can't get them anywhere else in town. Gotta love a four-star hotel. Mm-hmm. What about the other thing I asked you to look into? Only one guest checked in with a foreign passport in the past few days. In there. Good work, Talia. Except for one problem. You said you were looking for a woman. This guest registered as a Frederick Odell. Okay, one step at a time. Thanks. Oh, and another thing that seemed kind of strange. Mr. Odell checked in, but none of the staff recall seeing him.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is an award-winning short film producer, actress, and talk show host. She's also a very creative person, having a passion for the business side of entertainment. And she produced over a dozen live events, including red carpet movie premieres, award ceremonies, round fundraisers, fashion shows, and many, many, many others. A very busy lady. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Millela Gay. Greetings, Millela, and welcome to The Actor's Choice.
Well, thank you for having me, Ron. I'm thrilled to be here today.
Gotcha. Before we get started, please tell us where you were born.
I was born in the lovely little town of Washington, D.C. I was born in Washington, D.C. at Cape Ford's Hospital, and then lived there 1 year, and then I was raised in Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Upper Marlboro, Maryland, did you say?
Upper Mayberry. We call it Upper Mayberry.
Goodness.
Upper Marlboro.
The next picture he puts up is going to show you a place that I know very well. There it is, the courthouse. I was married in that courthouse. So when you say
no way,
Upper Marlboro, huh? Say again?
No way.
Yes, I was married. I never will forget it. We call it Maryland. Let me ask you a question. Do you miss being in Maryland?
You know, I miss my family. I really do. I miss my family. I miss my friends, although they're not in Maryland. They're all over the country, in New Jersey and Tennessee and all those places. But I do miss my grandmother. She's 100. You know, I love my family. I miss them so much. They're in Maryland. But the weather, every time I go back to visit, I'm reminded why I love California.
Okay. But you do miss.
We don't have humidity. We don't have snow. We don't have tornadoes.
Amen. But you do miss those Maryland crabs. Is that correct, madam? Right? You miss those Maryland crabs?
Yes.
No.
Maryland is the crabs, and no comparison.
Oh, nope. Not it is. I miss it. As I read your bio, I was taken aback by the way you discovered your love for acting. Please tell us how that happened.
Well, it was a fluke, actually. It was I intended to take over my family's law firm. So I went to the University of Virginia, and I was in the pre-law program at Thomas Jefferson's University.
Yeah.
And I was a double major of Spanish and Foreign Affairs, and I was going to go into the law field. Well, my mother insisted that I enter a beauty pageant. And it's like, I don't want to enter a pageant. I'm going to be an attorney. I don't have time for these things. I'm smart and I'm going to do this and that. And it's just all about looks. And so anyway, I entered it and I won. So wonderful thing.
Right.
I know it was a beautiful, but it was an eye-opening experience because, you know, it speaks to how we can have preconceived notions of something.
Yes.
And then once we're involved in it, it's completely different.
Gotcha.
So in my talent portion of the pageant that my mother forced me to attend, to participate in, I was going to sing, but I decided to try acting. Oh. And well, I did a dramatic interpretation. It wasn't all the way acting. It was just one of my friends said, maybe not singing. I want to try something else. So I was going to do a dramatic interpretation of Sojourner Truth's speech in Ain't I a Woman at the 1852 National Women's Rights Convention.
Okay.
And so I performed that. I rehearsed for 6 weeks.
Okay.
My acting coach, she was the director of For Colored Girls Only, The Rainbow Wasn't Enough on Broadway.
Okay.
So here I had a Broadway director coaching me on how to perform Sojourner Truth. And that process, from the research to getting into character to just all of it, I was like, wow, this is what I love to do.
Gotcha.
And that's when I got bitten. And then I won the pageant, and I was like, wait, I think I'm good at it.
Right. Okay, so now you're an actress. Year was 1997. Yes. You got your first IMDb actress credit for a drama mystery thriller called The Devil's Advocate. Remember that? Take us back to that.
Well, that was quite interesting. That was an interesting time because it was shot in New York. I'd moved to New York at that particular time. And that was shot there. And it was in February, and it was around Valentine's Day, and it was quite interesting. I got to meet Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves, and I was in the funeral scene. So gotcha. I have on a big fur coat, and it was quite something.
Gotcha. Okay. Biggest challenge you ever had in this business as an actress?
The biggest challenge, honestly, has been when casting directors ask me, what am I? Because, unfortunately, fortunately, whatever it may be, my skin complexion at the time when I first got started I was told that I was too light to be considered African American, not dark enough to be, too dark to be white, too light to be black. So, yeah. So they created a new category called ethnically ambiguous. Yeah. So there's that. But so the answer to your question is the biggest challenge that I faced was finding my own identity within the entertainment industry, embracing and appreciating the industry, appreciating who I am as an individual and what I bring as a talent, having that combination.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you never let it stop you, because the list of roles that you had is marvelous. I mean, you did soaps, All My Children, 8 episodes, General Hospital, The Young and the Restless. All those you've done. The Young and the Restless. Big variety you've had over your years, and nothing wrong with that. What did they say? Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Okay.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us now. Okay. Now I understand that in 2016 you produced a lot of short films and something like that, but you did one called Journey.
Yes, Journey.
Yes.
I actually produced that and I directed that.
Got you.
Now that was my first directing as far as in a narrative.
Yes.
So, I've directed the various different other talk shows that I've produced. But that one was quite an interesting experience because that was based on a real life experience of when I lived in New York. Gotcha. And I was dating someone. And after several years, well, I'm not going to ruin the story, but we had a conversation, and that was one of the impetuses that helped me to say, you know what, I think I'm going to LA. I think I'm going to move to LA. Gotcha. In addition to, I had been on all the soap operas in New York. So
gotcha. You came here to tell us about a 3-part docu-series about Congresswoman Ambassador Diane E. Watson. There's my lady. You were with her yesterday, right?
Yes. We hang out almost every day.
All right.
Bouncing around here, bouncing around there.
Okay.
Yeah, we hang out a lot. She's wonderful. We have such a good time. Just going to different events and just she's just so full of life and full of energy and full of stories.
Yes.
Like every time we're going somewhere, there's, I remember with this, and my father was one of the first African-American police officers. And so then this and this and this. And so we were driving around, and I'm like, where's your documentary? Yeah. Like, how come nobody has, who's doing the documentary on you? Why you have all of this information, all of this stuff? Why? This is history. This is Los Angeles history. It's national history. It's world history. where is it? Who's doing it? Nobody's doing it. Why? And I said, well, I guess I'll do it then. I guess. Okay. So then I just started, listening and just started getting ready to do it. It's like all of these stories and all this information.
Let's take a look at because of time. Let's take a look at what you got. Roll it, Tony.
The great Congresswoman Diane Watson.
Congresswoman Watson.
That silver feeling that you have in your mouth, but it's always giving off vapors that go to the brain, and you wonder why children are dulled down.
I want to see that every single child gets a quality education.
Someone hand me the phone. I think you need to take this call. She has been reported missing.
Why would the president go out and say we're safer if it...
Okay. Now, behind you it says Honey Peach Productions. Please tell us about that organization.
Well, this is a company that I founded 12 years ago here in Los Angeles. When I first was told, they said, my friends were saying, you're a producer. I said, no, I'm an actress. I'm just an actress. I love being an actor. They were, no, you're a producer. And I was like, stop accusing me of producing. I'm an actor. And then I started, that legal thing that never ends. It's just always there.
Yes.
So, I enjoy doing spreadsheets. I'm a nerd like that. Yes. And a happy nerd like that. So I just started putting things together, and I didn't realize I was producing, and I did. And so as I started producing these things, I said, why not have a company? I'm doing it. So I made Honey Peach Productions, which honey is the color of my makeup and peaches was my nickname in high school. So I couldn't think of anything else. So I just jammed it together, Honey Peach Productions. And so that's where Honey Peach Productions comes from.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We got a picture.
I'm sorry?
Just because of time. There's a picture of you and another young lady. Who is that lady?
Oh, that's my dear, dear friend, Noreen McClendon. She's one of the most wonderful people in the entire universe. She has an organization called Concerned Citizens of South Central Los Angeles. And that organization, they do so many things. They provide housing for underserved people in the community in Los Angeles. They do so many things. And one of these things is she has the Entertainment Industry Training Program. Now, what that program does, Entertainment Industry Training Program, that incorporates the youth to matching with the entertainment industry projects. So we've worked together on several projects, for example, the Magnificent Dunbar and various red carpet events and Clarissa's Gift, where we'll take the youth, whether they're high school or college youth, and they're able to shadow a professional in the industry to see if that's what they want to do as they grow up in their career. And so they'll get actual real world experience on a working set. Okay. So that's what her program is, the Entertainment Industry Training Program. And Honey Peach Productions is so happy to partner with Noreen and EITP and the Captain's Millionaire Program, which is founded by Dr. Gerald Higginbotham, Captain Dr. Gerald Higginbotham, where he trains young men to be social, to be proper young men in the world. So when you marry these two together, you have Captain Higginbotham training the young men to be proper young men, how to do the right thing. And then you have Noreen having the program with training them to follow directors, producers, writers behind. I mean, you have a perfect combination of excellence. And that is what I strive, what I do. That's my philosophy, excellence only. And I want to empower and encourage others to do the same. You can expect the best, but you have to be the best. But if you don't know how to do it, well, okay, I'm here to help you. So I want to invite the youth of Los Angeles to shadow these two current productions that I'm working on right now. And one is I'm directing something about mother.
Okay. Before we get out of here, we got to show part 2 of what the status that you're doing right now. Roll it, Tony.
Black leader. I am a leader in Congress.
It was easy to
surprise. The narrator is Mr. Danny Glover.
Wow. unfortunately, we're out of time. I just want to say one thing to you. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for putting together a marvelous production about former Congresswoman and Ambassador Diane E. Watson. Great stuff. Great stuff. What's the status of it? When will it come out?
Well, the status currently, we have, as I have two productions, the status of Diane Watson's project, we are in active pre-production and development and pre-production. And for the feature film, Something About Mother, we're also in active pre-production. So inviting all of the youth of Los Angeles to reach out to me to get in on this program so that you can follow the director, the producers, the music composition, and learn from the best in the industry, learn from the best to become the best, because excellence only is my philosophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hate to say this, Melina Gay, thank you so much for being here. We ran out of time. We'll get you back again because you got a lot to say. Indeed. Thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Okay, we're going to do the Kurt Flood petition. Okay, we'd like to let you know that we're asking our Actors Choice Squad to help us get former baseball player Kurt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Kurt, who passed away January 20th, 1997, he was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Judy Pace. Now, all you got to do, folks, is just give us a call, contact us at our office, 213-349-3941. That's 213-349, okay? We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay, Tony, roll it, Tony.
What do you want? I need a letter written on the computer. Can you help me? It's really urgent.
This is not really a very good moment. Okay, who's it for? Immigration?
To Clint. With capital C.
Who's Clint?
He's my boyfriend.
It's a very old movie of mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is an actress, a writer, and a producer. Now, she got her education at the Yale School of Drama. And she's worked in off-Broadway in New York City. She's traveled to regional theaters across the nation, honing her skills. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pamela J. Gray. Greetings, Pamela. Now you can talk. And welcome to the Actor's Choice.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. You don't know. I wave at people and they go, "Oh, how you doing? How you doing?" I said, it's all part of the code. But you're doing well. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. But please tell us where you were born.
I was born in Champaign, Illinois. Yeah, but I don't remember it because we moved when I was about 2 years old, we moved to Connecticut, and I was, for the most part, I was raised there. Not in the Historical Society, but in Western Connecticut. Yes. Wow. And I spent most of my life on the East Coast until I came out to California to do a play, and then I got married here, and I've been here and there ever since.
All right, here, there, and everywhere.
Mostly California and New York and Connecticut.
All right, here's my favorite question. You ready for this one, man?
Sure.
What made you get into acting?
Well, I was lucky in that we were close to New York City.
Yep.
And my father brought us in to see a lot of theater and ballet and classical music and to the museums. My sister is a painter and my other sister is a violist.
Okay.
And so we were obviously influenced by that. And I think initially when you're younger, you sort of gravitate to those musicals, the big musicals on Broadway, because they're so spectacular. But I slowly realized that I'm not much of a singer and a dancer. And so I decided to sort of focus on the more straight theater. And I decided very early on that I wanted to go to Yale School of Drama, I guess because I lived in Connecticut and it was, just pretty close by.
Yes.
But I ended up going to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts because I wasn't old enough to go to Yale School of Drama. They had you had to be 21 at that point to go. So I went ahead and did some undergraduate work at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is a kind of conservatory as well. It is a conservatory. And then I went from there to Yale.
You like to get on the stage, don't you?
I do.
You and I have never met until today. And
Yeah.
everybody who knows me, they know that I have a bone to pick with actors and actresses. They come here from everywhere, come out here to Hollywood. They want to be a star, right? Nothing wrong with that. They do television, they do film, but they won't get up on that stage. Why? What's your thought about that?
Well, I worked with this actress, amazing actress, named Jan Maxwell, who recently passed away. I was in the last play that she did, Scenes from Execution in New York City, and very fortunate to have been in that and to have worked with her. And she said something in an interview that I thought described it so perfectly. She said, it's a lot of responsibility. And when I heard that, I thought that, especially the size of roles that she so frequently played, and I tend to play the main character. That's just because of my type. It's a lot of responsibility. You're going out there live, and the responsibility starts over again every single time you do it. So that sort of relief of, oh, it's done, it's in the can, now everyone can watch it, never happens to a theater actor. It's never in the can, it's never done, it's never frozen. If it is, it's probably going to be bad.
Yes.
Because it has to be alive and for the first time every single night.
Yes.
And just knowing that you have that ahead, I think at about 5 o'clock or earlier for me, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, every single night, it's a make or break situation over and over again. Even if last night was great, it doesn't matter. You're just as good as your most recent performance, which is going to come tonight, you know? And so I think it's nerve-wracking in a strange way, and you sort of have to be up for that side of it. And I think that's the reason why I think it would be beautiful to be able to do your best and most perfect performance, and then it's done, and then it's finished, and then it's just out there for everyone to see and admire with your best angles and your best hairstyle.
Yes. Getting up on that stage. You also, according to what I see here, you did a movie TV series called Swift Justice in 1996.
Yes, ages ago, a million years ago.
That was your first IMDb actress credit.
It was? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so what a nice credit to have first. I got to work with some really great people on that show, and that was one of those New York shows, you know, cop shows, Dick Wolf kind of thing, and that was a great experience. And I actually was directed by that same director that directed that show in a play, in one of my first plays.
Yes.
So that was interesting.
Okay. It was a lot of fun, they tell me, because again, doing these TV, we had a guy come in on set one time, and he told us, he said, Ron, if you are doing movies like you do, you know, TV and stuff like that, you're making money. But when you get up on that stage, you are learning. What you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's absolutely true. It's a different. It's not being a good actor in the moment and telling the truth and you know, reaching the audience. That's the same when it comes to television and film. Obviously, as I said, you can't retake a bad scene that you've done when you're in live theater. So you don't have as much control in the moment of the outcome. But in terms of the money, I think it's interesting. Sometimes I think it's a misconception. You can make a very decent living as a theater actor if you're willing to go out into the regions. Those are decent paychecks. They're not, you know, you're not going to be wealthy in that, you know, other way, but you can certainly make a respectable living. I mean, I have friends who went to the Guthrie after Yale and became company members for a couple of years, and you know, if you stay doing a job like that, you can buy a house and have a perfectly lovely life.
Got you.
The big money and the quick money is certainly much more likely to come in television and film.
Yeah, that's in
But
residuals.
I think the money part also, what becomes a part of the money question is that your notoriety is, you reach a larger audience when you're on camera.
Yes.
So that notoriety brings you more work. So that makes you more money. And I think that's a big part of it as well.
You came here for a reason. You're doing a play right now at the Odyssey called Ghosts.
That's right.
Tell us about that play.
That's an Ibsen play. It was written in the late 1800s. It's a very beautifully written play about a family, and it addresses the issue of how the past affects the present.
Yes.
And in this case, also the future, and in ways that we don't always think about, that ghosts are not just people that have passed, that are sort of still haunting us, but it's their ideas, their perspective on life, they whatever they've put into our hard drive, into our heart, that has influenced our lives after they've passed. And I think that's really what he means by ghosts.
Got you. There's a cast of 5, but what is your role?
I am the mother and the matriarch of this family. I very simply, I decided a long time ago, because I had a difficult, philandering husband who drank and didn't follow the rules, so to speak, of the time. I decided to send my son away so that he wouldn't be poisoned or influenced by the bad behavior of my husband. And I sacrificed a relationship in many ways with this person, the son that I loved so much that I wanted to spare him.
Yes.
And when he finally returns, well, I don't want to give a spoiler for the people who are going to see it, but when he finally returns, things never quite turn out the way you think they're going to. So be careful what you wish for.
Okay. How long is the run going to last for at the Odyssey Theater for Ghosts?
It goes until the 3rd week of October.
Okay.
And it's mostly on the weekends. The schedule is a little erratic, so you might want to go to the website, odysseytheater.com, and that's theater spelled with the R-E at the end.
Thank you. Anything else that you want to say about the Ghost? Because when I first saw it, no connection to that television series. I said, goes over there.
I hope you weren't hopeful about that and then disappointed that it wasn't connected to that television show. No, it's, look, what I would say about it, aside from the fact that Bart DiLorenzo is a wonderful director that always finds the seed of a play and is so gifted when it comes to that, is that anytime you have a chance to see these great authors, these great playwrights, Ibsen, Strindberg, Chekhov, they're done less and less. Go.
Yeah. One of the things I love about Odyssey, it's set up with different stages in there. You got food, you got people in there, people standing in line to get in there and see the action.
Action. Are you going to come, Ron?
I'm going to come and see the action.
Oh, good. Well, you make sure to wait afterwards and tell me what you thought.
Okay. Once again, can you give that telephone number or website information so people can get some?
Oh, yes, sure. It's the odysseytheater.com, and theater is not spelled E-R, it's spelled R-E in that website address. And you can find the schedule there and how to purchase tickets.
Pamela J., it's been a pleasure. Please come back again. Best wishes to you with this play that you guys are doing. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ron.
And of course, thanks, to my good buddy, Lucy Pollock.
Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah. She is something else. Okay. Thank you so much. Best wishes.
Thank you.
This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today started performing arts at the age of 7. Now, he later had a very strong training from the Alvin Ailey American Dance Center, and later he got the opportunity to tour the world as a modern principal dancer. Yes. His career spans well over 29 years, ladies and gentlemen, of professional experience in dance, teaching dance, choreography, singing, and acting. The man is a bag, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brandon Ellis. Greetings, Mr. Ellis. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Ron? Good morning.
Oh, great to see you, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to have you on our program together, just to read some of your stuff.
Oh, that is so kind. I'm super honored to be here with the distinguished line of guests that you have had. I looked over the archives of all the previous interviews. You're amazing, and your guests are phenomenal, and I'm just super humbled and honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Y'all, my job is just to extract. We call it, I teach broadcasting, and I tell my students, I said, when we're doing an interview, my job is nothing more than to extract information from the person that I'm talking about for the benefit of the audience. That's all I do. I ask what, who, why, 5 W's, things like that.
5 W's, I love it.
That's the way we do it. Who, what, where, when, and why. Yeah. Okay, tell us where you were born, sir.
I was born in Queens, New York, and raised in Maryland, in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it looks like you've been around. You said Queens, you caught my attention. I went to aviation high school there, so I know Queens very well.
Oh, wow. Aviation. That's interesting.
I was born and raised in Harlem, so I got a chance to move around, that kind of stuff.
Ah, my mom was born and raised in Harlem.
Get back. What hospital?
I think I want to say Lenox.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
But she was raised on 320 St. Nicholas Avenue.
Oh, yes, I know where that's at, yes.
You know where that is, around the corner from the Apollo.
Well, of course. I live in the St. Nicholas Project right around the corner.
Oh, I know those projects too, yeah.
There it is. Woo. Woo. We got to talk about that, man. We got to talk about that.
Most definitely.
One thing I would like to talk about. Are you ready for this? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandon. Happy birthday to you. Yesterday was yours. The day before yesterday was your birthday.
Yesterday.
Stand by.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry, the day before yesterday. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much, Ron. That was so sweet.
Another day, another year.
Another year. Yeah, another year around the sun.
That's it. Now, you do live here in Atlanta, GA.
I do.
You ever run into that guy named Tyler something, Tyler somebody?
Mr. Tyler Perry himself.
Yes.
Well, oddly enough, I get that question quite a bit, and we have not directly crossed paths as of yet. However, I have crossed paths with some very, very important friends of his that are very dear and true to him, such as Leon Lamar.
Yes.
And Dayon Herring. And there's a couple of others as well. But I do believe at some point in the very near future, we will be crossing paths. And I look forward to meeting the icon himself. He's phenomenal.
When I saw that video which you said Atlanta, I said, put that up so people can see that this gentleman is in Atlanta doing work, teaching people how to dance, do your dance.
And act.
Yeah. And the two together are beautiful because you got to sing and act and dance and all that good stuff.
I keep trying to tell my students that, Ron. I keep saying, if you don't know your vocal register, even in acting, you won't know how to go up, down, fluctuate, and give the proper, cues and tonality for the delivery of the lines.
Since you're talking about teaching, why show business and not a 9-to-5 job?
Well, Ron, I will say to all my 9-to-5ers, thank you for doing a phenomenal job out here. And I definitely tried when I was going to Alvin Ailey American Dance Center many moons ago on scholarship in Manhattan at 1515 Broadway on the Minskoff building, right across from the Black and Blue Broadway show with Savion Glover and Linda Brown. And I said, you know what? I need a 9-to-5. I can't just take 500 classes a day a week and not have a job. So my grandmother was like, I'll charge you $150 a month rent, but you do need to get a job just so that you get used to paying bills. I was all of 18. And so I did go to Ticketmaster, believe it or not. And guess who was next to me in the cubicle?
Ooh.
Taj from
Yeah, man.
SWV, Taj Johnson from SWV.
Yeah.
And she's like, me and my girlfriends are gonna make an album. We're coming out of an album. We'd be like, girl, be quiet. We just get back on the headset. And she came out with that album with that SWV group in 1992, and we were blown away. But that was the only experience I really had with 9 to 5. I did Ticketmaster. Oh, and I did Metropolitan Opera House as a subscription ticketer, which was very grueling for me because we had very seasoned subscribers who were very particular and meticulous about their tickets. And I don't know. I was too young and I wanted to dance. I couldn't sit still in that seat that long. And it was it was tricky for me. But I'm grateful for the experience.
I'm not going to ask how old you are, but you do look good.
Thank you. I'm 53.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Now watch that stuff. Whoa, went by me.
Thank you, Ron.
Here's a good question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
How much percentage of talent you believe you've gotten from God, and the other percentage came from years of professional training?
That's a wonderful question. From God, my Father, who I love, who I choose to call God, definitely at the age of 5, before I started training at 7, I noticed that I could not stay still in my mother's living room. I was moving her plants around and making room for a stage, and I was getting a folding chair to climb up to the 45s and the LPs that she had in her collection, playing Shaka Khan, Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, Melba Moore, Natalie Cole, and I was imitating these singers that I had seen maybe perform once on television, and I would hear their voices, and I would just get up there and imitate. So I think it was a very, I would say about a good 80% that God gave me natural talent, because it has to come easy for us as, actors and actresses and dancers and singers. It has to be enjoyable. It has to be passion filled. And then the training on top is just the icing and the layering and the technical aspect. But if it's all work and no play and no enjoyment, and it doesn't come easy for you, and you struggle to accomplish any of these crafts, then maybe it's not as God-given as you think. I'm just saying, because I've never felt like, I always felt like a kid in Christmas or in a toy box every time I go on stage or in front of a camera. I feel like I'm at home. I don't want any other place to be in this world. So that's the answer to that.
Brandon E., you the man. But let's go back a little bit. What was it like knowing and working with the one and only dance legend himself, Mr. Alvin Ailey?
Oh, wow. What an honor. I get emotional, Ron, when I talk about Mr. Ailey. And I don't get a chance to talk about him often enough as I would like. He was a phenomenal man, very warm, very loving, very fatherly, funny, protective, and very much an educator and a teacher. He wanted me to stay in my ballet classes. He knew that I was extremely flexible and that I could wrap my leg behind my head, and all these great things. And he called me son. He said, son, I really, really like you. I want you to just stay in your ballet classes. I can't bring you on tour just yet because you would get injured. I was all up in that audition, Ron, had on my unitard, and I was looking around. I was like, oh my God, I'm with some of the greatest dancers in New York City, and I'm in the company, and I got to audition for him. I got to perform in front of him in his studio, in an in-studio performance. Himself and Judith Jamison were there, Tally Beatty, probably some other greats. And we were doing Tally Beatty's piece, Rat Sally. And it was very jarring because I was the lead male, and I had to pick up Althea Canada and put her on my shoulder, then drop her down, holding her hand and her leg only and spinning her in a circle in the air. And then she would place the opposite foot down to stop the turn. And then I have to let her go, and she would just turn by herself. I mean, I was in sheer shell shock, and I went to Tally and I said, Tally, I don't think I don't think I can do this. He said, oh, hell, you and Aretha gonna be all right, Brando. You get on out there and do the damn thing. I said, oh, well, that's it. That was the answer. But Alvin definitely, Ron, he's one of a kind. He's gentle. He was patient. He was passionate. And he would slither around through his studios and watch. He'd be in the window looking to see. You look up, and there he was in the window. And something just comes over your whole body. You're like, I'm in this man's castle. I'm in his dance temple. I must honor this craft. I must honor him. So I miss him dearly, and I love him with all my heart.
We got a few more minutes left, but here's one of the questions I want to ask you. What does being a professional actor mean to you today?
Today, it no longer means just fun and make-believe and impersonating really well. It means the truth. It means coming down to the most honest denominator that I can actually come into. In other words, if I get a role, I have to relate to it on some level. And if I don't have a lot to relate to it, I have to find and dig. My job is to dig up the truth, dig up the relationship to this character. So me and the character can marry each other within the performance. And then the birthing of the role becomes alive. And I want it to be obtainable to people's hearts and minds and provoke inspiration and memories and emotions they may never experience. Like myself as an actor, I don't get to always experience all those emotions day to day. So that's what it means for me.
One of the things that actors, dancers all have to do is a key word called discipline.
If you don't have that, it won't work for you. And I tell my students that in dance and acting, you have to want to be disciplined. You have to want to hear what the teacher is trying to share generously with you. And then you have to retain and execute. And you have to be able to do that as quickly as possible, because sometimes you'll get an adjustment on set and you don't have time to flub and figure out and run around in circles and have temper tantrums. You gotta do what's being done in front, what's being offered in front of you. So discipline is, a huge, huge part of my teaching, from your appearance on down to your conduct and your attention span and retention.
I went up on IMDb and I noticed that you did an event called Sisters and the Shrink in 2018.
Yeah! Oh my God, it's one of my most fun, favorite projects I've ever done, Ron. So I'm working for Hazel Simpson, the great Hazel Simpson here in Atlanta. She's very well known. She's a filmmaker, she's an entrepreneur, she's a single mother, she's raised 3 beautiful children, and she's written these spiritually based movies. And Sisters in the Shrink happens to be one of the finer ones that she has been promoting, with myself starring in it, Trina Braxton from the Braxton Sisters, who I love, Tawana Braxton, who I love, Leon Lamar, who I love, and a whole nother cast of phenomenal Atlanta ensemble actors who have just made me a better actor for being a part of it, And so the story is basically I play the comic relief who thinks he's in love with the shrink, but it's just sessions that I'm actually having about my difficulties in living in my life. And so there's a whole distortion and delusional view of that character. And so it plays out really hilariously, and it balances out all the day-to-day real life messages that she has written in that story about sisters coming together and supporting one another.
Now there's Sisters in the Shrink, there's a number 2 and a number 3.
Yes, there's a number 2, number 3, and 4 we just wrapped, and we have that in edits. There is a 1 as well. 1 is more of an introduction. It's a little shorter, more introduction. But 2, 3, and 4, you can watch it now. 2 and 3, you can watch it now on Amazon Prime and Roku. 4 is in edits, and we're going to go on to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from what I was told.
Make it plain. Make it plain. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, people tell people, is this a show, a movie? Exactly what is Sisters in the Shrink?
Sisters in the Shrink is a movie. It's a movie, and it's a series of movies. The way she has been filming it is so that it can be adapted into a television series format as well. But right now, she is distributing it out as a movie, single movies, so sequels. Yeah. That's the
Brandon,
best.
with all the things you've done, you've seen a lot of significant changes in the entertainment world over the past years. What do you
Yes.
have to say about some of these changes?
The changes are good and bad, I hate to sound cliche because of my age and the genre and the era that I come from, but still being relevant and a part of the entertainment industry myself.
Yes.
I work with a lot of youth and young, vibrant talent and smart, educated people. I think if we just get away from numbers, followers, views, and we get more we get more into the content, the quality of the work that's written, and get out of the stereotypical messages that we're sending and the exploitation that we're doing to one another, we will actually be in a better place. I know that we've done enough of the shoot 'em up, bang bang movies to last
Yes.
eons.
Yes.
Let's find these other layers and hues of who we can be as human beings. We're not one dimensional. We're not just violent creatures. We're not always victimized, and we're not always sexualized.
Yes.
There's so many layers and hues to us that God created.
Yes.
And why not dig a little deeper? Just ask God to take you deeper as a writer, as a director, as a producer, an actress, an actor, so we can put out phenomenal work.
Well, in Hollywood, they say the only way to have success with a movie is sex and violence. So that's the way it be. That's what they say.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's like, how many versions, Ron, can we watch of that?
True. They go all the way to the bank, going to that bank.
I see it come on and I turn the channel, literally. I want to be informed. I want to be educated. I want to be thought-provoked. I want to be emotionally provoked. I want to think about what's possible, what I didn't know. I want to look at people in a different light and go, wow, we are beautiful creatures. We are strong. We are resilient. We are, all these wonderful things that God made us. So there's so much more.
Brandon, we got time for one more question. You are
Yay, I'm having so much fun.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want
17 minutes. That's all. We need to bring you back. We bring you back again because you are very thrilled. Bill. Oh man, good stuff here. You are constantly training and perfecting your talents, preparing for your next project. True or false?
True. Very, very true. And the thing about it is that, like, right now, before I was coming on, I was literally sitting here going over a monologue. It's right here in my hand. And I was like, oh my God, I'm only at the beginning part. I got to get to the middle to then, because I study monologue in parts. I go, there's a first section, there's a middle section, there's a third section. Very rarely do I try to do it all in one swoop. That's just too overwhelming, and I never get all the layers that I need. So yeah, I'm working. I'm preparing to do a showcase in front of a panel of distinguished agents here in Atlanta. Big wigs. And it's time, because I don't have an agent. Thank you. Yes. I want the right one. I want us to be a good match for each other, and so that's what I'm working toward, Ron, and I'm super stoked.
Brandon, much thanks to you for being here today, and continued success with your career. And oh yes, Cynthia Busby. Thank that lady very, very much. I've known her for a long time. That's good.
How could we ever go through this entire interview without saying anything? Cynthia, we love you. We thank you. You are phenomenal. And this could not have happened without you. And I continue to learn from you and love you even more and more every day. So thank you for being in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Ellis. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's Back to the Future Time, Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. And much, much thanks to our guest today, actress, short film producer, and talk show hostess, Melina Gay, actress, writer, producer, Pamela J. Gray, and of course, actor, singer, dancer, Brandon Ellis. And of course, special thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to our ever-growing audience. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Be well. We'll see you the next time.
Woo! Thank